Hello walkers, and welcome back to City Walks. And our friendly little Jay is going to be joining us today. Today we are in the little town of Northampton, Massachusetts. This is one of those places that I don't know much about. We're here on a college tour with my son, and I just took the opportunity to come out here and do a little exploration with you guys. So I'm going to flip you around so that you can see me. 1, 2, 3. Hello, my name is Henry. I'll be your proxy walker today, your co-discoverer and your virtual travel guide. I'm going to flip you around again. Hold on just a second. There we go. It is 51 degrees Fahrenheit, 11 degrees Celsius, and 9 a.m. on I think it's a Tuesday in October. So I won't tell you about the whole college tour, but I will tell you a little bit about Northampton that I learned on my little Wikipedia reading this morning. Look at these neat old buildings. It's a classic old New England town in a lot of ways. Look at this cool art. That must be a tree. It looks like it's an owl. Love it. Very cool. Morning. It's near Springfield, north of Springfield, and it was once called something like by this opera singer Jenny Lind in the 1850s. I think Paradise on Earth, and so its sort of city name is Paradise. It's home to Smith College, a women's college, as well as the Clark College for the hearing impaired, or it's for people that are hearing impaired. And I want to slow down here and enjoy this a little bit. Let me tell you about the channel real quick in that I am your proxy walker. We go and explore. I'm not a typical tour guide. I'm not an expert, and I just go along and try and share things that I find with you. My goal, I think, my plan is just to walk down this street here and turn around and come back the other side and just show you around town a little bit. And hopefully we'll find some interesting things to point out. Sometimes this is the corner of Pleasant Street and Main Street. We're walking down Main Street. Here's Pleasant Street. Swing around here and look down the other way. It's definitely got a 19th century vibe going here. Anyway, sometimes I get so excited to get these walks started that I start to rush a little bit. But look at these buildings. I guess it's not going to let me cross here. I'm going to go down to a crosswalk and we'll get to see a little bit of Pleasant Street. I love the curved corner on that building, Eileen Fisher, and that sort of thing. It's a rainy day today, and this is kind of... So one of the things, there's a nor'easter coming up the coast, and so it's been really rainy the last couple of days, including today, and not raining, but overcast. I want to thank our Patreon supporters for your support. If you want to learn about how to support the channel, there's links underneath in the YouTube description. Sorry. This is Armory Street. Love these old buildings. But of course it's not necessary. Also thank you to the coffee and PayPal one-time supporters. It really does help you guys, and it really does encourage me to keep making these videos. So I'm going to use this crosswalk here instead of waiting for a light. The city is apparently known for, thank you, being quite liberal and arts oriented. And I'm seeing a little bit of that, I guess. Several arts oriented things, a couple little signs here and there. But mainly it's just a very cool old town. And I know I said my plan was one thing, but as you'll find as you subscribe to the channel and watch more of these videos, I'm fairly easily distracted by neat old buildings and alleyways and little things that pique my interest. There's an interesting system for closing off a construction area. Ooh, a chocolateria. Looks like they're doing some restoration work on that yellow building. I was talking with my son. I think I might have mentioned this before. There's a fine arts gallery. It's quite windy with the weather. I was talking about how, some of the buildings that we see and other things, clothing, furniture, etc., seem kind of old and cheap and whatever, and I wonder how long it takes for that to come back into style and become classic. This is Strong Avenue. We're just going to duck down here because it's kind of neat. Got a neat little old trolley-style diner over there. I don't know if it's a true style. I love all these plants and outdoor seating as well. Homestead Kitchen and Bar. It's just so inviting to come down to a downtown like this and be able to be outside and feel like it's not just a highway interchange, This guy's got some outdoor seating. Right? It just feels welcoming. And studies have shown that doing this sort of thing, outdoor seating, even though you're losing parking, it actually drives up visitation and downtown businesses see an increase in revenue. So that's my little shout out for there. Okay, so also one of the things I read is that there are several rails to trails, bike paths that they've been developing in and around town. You see these old railroad bridges. This is the, I guess when Europeans arrived, it was the Pomongtuck people that lived here. And they had a lot of conflict, I think, with the Mohawk people. And then a smallpox epidemic came through here after some Dutch traders or explorers came through, and we were on Holly Street, and really wiped them out, and that sort of left a gap in the population which was filled by Europeans. Holly Street. Kind of get back into some residential areas in there. And we hopefully will have a chance to get into some residential areas. In fact, I think we'll do that now. We'll go down Holly Street, neat old delicatessen here. Maybe not old, but neat. I would guess that most of these buildings are 19th or early 20th century construction. To film this, I'm using DJI Osmo Pocket 3. A lot of people ask about that sort of thing. And it's a little creator bundle. I love these alleys and murals. And I love it. It's a great camera. One thing I wish is that it had a wider lens for this kind of thing, because it would capture a lot more. And it does come with a little lens adapter thing you can stick on, but I very early scratched mine up, and it doesn't quite do as good a job as an actual lens. Well, I'm hoping that we can get a street off to the left here. But I guess we've got that railroad. So what we're gonna do is pop out here. And we'll just backtrack a bit. That happens sometimes. I didn't really think that through. Okay, I think you can see the top of the Hotel Northampton. We'll go take a look at that as well. Apparently that's a historic old hotel. If you haven't checked out citywalksvirtualtours.com, it's the website, and you can find most of our walks there by length and location. So Europe and Central America and various states within the United States, quite a few states actually. Although this is our first Massachusetts walk, so congratulations on joining us for that. There's that building they were working on. And so, that wasn't Holly, that was where the diner was down here. I never mentioned the population. The Wikipedia article said the population is like 30,000, which I find quite shocking looking at the infrastructure here. I would have guessed it would have been much larger. Rug shop. My wife and I took our honeymoon to Turkey, and we bought a rug, and we saw learned about the rug making process, and the handmade rugs take years to make, those Turkish rugs. And that's why they're super expensive, but absolutely beautiful. here's the Northampton Hotel. And I'm not sure what that's the Hampshire County Courthouse. Big stone edifice.
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you.
This alley.
Oh, boy.
I like the white solarium kind of place. And then of course across the street is a modern block type government building. Hall of Records, I guess. It's quite pretty. Looks like they have a nice little bar over here. A restaurant. They advertising brunch. Wiggins Tavern. This brick and white trim speaks, it says to me, and I'm not an architectural historian, I wish I was, because I find it really interesting. Looks like maybe they could use some painting, but has a like 1920s vibe to it, more than a 1800s vibe. Coolidge Cafe. So I'm just gonna, this little garden place. Somewhere around here, I should look up the names. There's a simple stone marker is what it's described as. And it's for let's see here. They basically arrested, tried, and executed 2 Irishmen for murder. Later determined that those were absolutely trumped up. Oh, we'll talk about Shays Rebellion too. Charges, and they hung them. 15,000 people watched, and then it was basically anti-Irish, anti-immigrant sentiments, and that's what happens when you start that kind of thing without actually considering the facts. So I'm just going to leave it at that and not get political about all the politics going on. I will talk about Shays Rebellion though. I guess that started here, and I think that's the same as the Whiskey Rebellion, but I'm not sure. Anyway, it's one of the early tests of the US Constitution, and Whiskey Rebellion was early. This was in 1805. No, this is it was 1886. A bunch of Revolutionary War veterans stopped the Civil Court from seating. I think that's the one where Washington marched out with a bunch of troops and said no, absolutely not. This broad central, it's not really a central square, but this kind of wide open area. So in some US towns, particularly down south, they'll have a central square. It'll be an actual square. Oh yeah, the great robbery of 1876. Somebody got away with $1.6 million, which I think that's how much it was then. So in 2025 dollars, that's a lot. Anyway, they have a square, and in the center of the square they have a courthouse, and there's a road that goes around, and there's shops and stuff. And here it seems like maybe they had a trolley system or a train system going through the center, and it's just wide open boulevard. And I'd be curious to know the origins of that, or the source of that. Hip up. Morning. We started our walk across the street, but we're going to keep going and explore because there's some cool old buildings, lovely shops. So we're in early October. You can tell the Halloween decorations are out. I would love to do a better job of being able to show you guys what are in these shop windows, but it seems like anytime I go to show you, all I get is reflection. And if you have any hints or tricks or something like that, I would love to hear them. Alleyway. So it's interesting, a lot of times, at least the more recent murals I've seen are quite bright and vibrant. They really stand out. And the ones I've seen so far here have been much more muted. I don't know if that's a function of the era in which they were done, some sort of restrictions or requirements or theme, or what. A lot of cannabis dispensaries here in, well, I guess not so much Massachusetts that I've seen, but in New York, where we were driving through yesterday, similar to Montana, which I guess is not much more than a liquor stores. I just tend to notice them a little bit more because they're a new thing. Masonic Street off to the right. I like the wood frontage there. There's the Academy of Music, which looks also like it might have been turned into a theater. I don't know if it was always a theater. Classic old building, the Sullivan School. I wonder if we're getting up into the Smith College area. We'll keep walking another block or so. This is State Street coming up. Yeah, Smith College up there in the corner. Paradise of America is what Jenny Lynn said. love these 19th century buildings. One looks like maybe it's has some work or needs some work. You see Smith College sign blocked by a lot of other signs. We'll walk up here, block, and circle around, see what we can see. Off to the left is the, Forbes Library. I don't know if that's part of the college or a public library. Beautiful old building though. We'll see a bit more here in a minute. There we go. Neat little stage over there, out on the lawn.
Warning lights are flashing. Warning lights are flashing.
Yes, they are signed, they are. Looks like we are going to get into some little residential. This car up here on the right that's moving along with flashing lights is a parking enforcement. I've seen more and more of these automated vehicles. They've got little cameras on them. And I think they check license plates, etc. Super efficient way to enforce simple rules. Smith College campus is pretty significant. Seems to be anyway. It's Arnold Avenue down that way. Guessing that's apartments. No, actually, Eversource Energy. So I guess those things on the bottom are little sensors of something. I live in Montana, if you're not familiar with the channel, and the ecology, the environment out there is vastly drier. We don't really think of Montana as being a desert, but it kind of is. It's pretty close in terms of rainfall, and I think I might have gotten myself into a very unfortunate detour here. Anyway, and it's a bit surprising for me to see how, it's not surprising, it's just so different to see all the foliage and the greenery and the trees. And certainly in western Montana we get a lot of pine trees. Along the rivers we get cottonwoods, etc. But we don't really get this kind of dense forest in most places. Well, look what I did. I'm hoping we can get a trail back. It's like an old power plant. Also, you can see in some of these older houses, you'll see a little bit of moss or algal growth on the outsides. All right, hoping that this will lead us back to downtown area. Fun little park down here. See a skate park. So you see these, I don't know what they are, walnuts or something, this stuff right here. I think squirrels, there's a little guy right there, are bringing whatever these nuts are and cleaning them off on this little railing, sitting on here and peeling them off. I think I'm actually going to drop down in here and take that little section off. Hopefully I won't slip and slide too much. That's pretty solid. I am going to wipe the lens because it seems like it might be a little bit hazy. I don't know if that helped or not. Seen a lot of geese migrating in herd. There are a few up above us now. Love these little gray squirrels everywhere. We don't really have those in Montana. A few of them here and there. All right, let's go this way. Fort Hill Terrace coming up on the right. I'm not sure what road we're on right now. Sorry about that. Look at all the solar on this house. I love it. School Street. That's what we're on. I think. We want to drop down to the right. Nope, we're going to go straight. That's what we're going to do. Morning. The old apartment building here. I like this old building up here as well, I think, on the right. And this, it's like, and this old siding here. Railing is what the word I'm looking for. But I just, classic old wood, ornate design and detail. Probably an absolute nightmare to maintain, but beautiful. These old buildings as well. I like to assert myself at crosswalks, not so much assert myself as just be very clear about my intentions. The people in that blue Tesla were going a little fast, and to their credit, they still stopped. They gave me a wave, acknowledged that, hey, maybe we should be a little more aware, and so thanks for that. But you definitely have to be careful because there are certainly people out there that will just blow right through them. This is, I believe, the music school again. I want to go around and see the front side of that. It reminds me of somewhere. I get to do a lot of this travel and see all these great places, but after a while, the little, what I call figments of half-remembered dreams sort of get all mixed together, and I find myself being reminded of somewhere else, and then not quite remembering where it was. You know, I have a scene or an image in my mind, and I can't put it on a map. Here we go, Academy of Music. Love it. That's such a cool old building, and then to have the neon more than the LCD screen, but it's a nice little melange of old or new. Melange isn't the right word, but makes me feel educated. It's a bus stop. I think that they said there is train service here in Northampton. I'm not sure where the station is, but it allows, there's 2 lines that allow you to connect to other lines that'll take you to Boston and New York. Pulaski Park. It's like a memorial hall. It's like a war memorial. Just the people who lost their lives in several wars. I want to show you something real quick. This is something that I've kind of only seen in the Northeast. They have these little blue barrels or other barrels, and they've cut a hole in them. Sometimes they're tilted on end. Sometimes they have a little flap like that. And I believe what they have inside is gravel and or salt. So unlike out west where we get snow and then it pretty much just blows away or melts, I think it tends to get a lot more icy here. And so I believe the system is to, those are there so you can just shovel some out if things are getting slippery. This is Mayor Sean Dunphy Way, off to the right. Not sure what this place is, the Northampton City Hall. There we go. Crafts Avenue. And we'll just make a loop down here. Look at that wildflower hill. I don't know if it's wildflowers, but it's flowers. One Roundhouse Plaza. Roundhouse is typically a railroad thing where they turn the engines around, I think. I don't know if... No, maybe that's a roundhouse, like a round barn over there. Anywho. Oh, I know what we're gonna do. Off to the right is quite a bit of public parking, actually, and there's on-stream parking with uses the Park Mobile app. Super easy. I love the parking apps. Just make it so much less of a hassle to pay for parking. And there's the Northampton Brewery down just about a half block down. We ate there last night. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I had a fish sandwich. My son had, who's a vegetarian or pescatarian, he had a vegan burger. Both enjoyed it. I had a nice crisp Pilsner. There's a sushi and steak house. I don't know which one is which. Osaka and then Caminito. You can see the back of the brewery over there. A wooden bit. Peace, love, beer. Maybe it's both. Huh. It's a parking garage off on the right. But what I'm interested in is the skyway over here. Elevated walkway, covered walkway, and a little park. I think what attracted me to the skyway is the trim and panes of glass and the steelwork. Oh, a Tuesday market. Local food, live music, other good things. 1 to 6. It's fun. And here's more parking. Ooh, look at this. Love these. Oh, look at that one. I don't want to ooh and ah too much, but I do like a good mural. That's a fun one. And this is the back of a bookstore, I believe. You see a lot of children's book characters. Love the public art. Huh. This building is called the Gazette. I wonder if it's an old newspaper building. Another more, I don't know the style of that. Interesting. Comic book style. The ornate turret. I'm sure there's a term for that. It's not really a turret, but kind of neat. That was Armory Street, and I think we walked down here a little bit earlier. There's a wool store. It's pretty. Oh, a music store too. That's the second music store I've seen down here. Or maybe this is the same one? Ooh, this is a kind of a neat little alleyway. I think that just goes back to that parking lot. And I think I showed you those murals earlier. We're coming back out on Main and Pleasant. There's the Northampton Hotel right ahead. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for joining me here in downtown Northampton. Such a charming little place. It's been fun to explore it with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I think the direction of the wind has shifted into my face again. In any case, I'm not sure where I'll get to walk next. Hopefully Well, I'm not sure exactly. So I'll let you know when you see it appear. In any case, until then, thanks for joining us or joining me today. I hope you enjoyed your walk. And until next time, keep on stepping.